Hey guys, Logan Battles here, and welcome to another episode of Logan Battles Football Talk, where I'll be giving some pretty long discussions about any football-related subject. Football player, coach, stadium, schedule, game, you name it. For this one, we are going to be talking about the Iowa and Ohio State game, which happened yesterday. And I figured I would be doing this, and I was going to do it earlier today, and then somehow, someway, I forgot to do it earlier today. So I'm just going to make this episode as relatively quick and short as I possibly can. So here it is. Now, before I get into the whole game, I want to let y'all know, and you're not going to believe this when I say it, I didn't watch the whole game when it happened. That's right. I didn't watch the whole game when it was kicked off and after it was ended. But I did, however, watch one video that shows some of the main highlights of the entire game. And so, yeah, I've watched the whole video and I was mind blown by what just happened in that game. So we are going to be talking about it because of that. So anyway, if you watch the whole game, you know that formerly unranked Iowa, the Hawkeyes of Iowa, beaten the formerly number 6 Ohio State Buckeyes. Yep, you just heard me say that loud and clear. The formerly unranked Iowa Hawkeyes beat the formerly ranked number 6 Ohio State Buckeyes 55-24. Let me repeat, 55-24. Yep, that is correct. So, and like in my last episode, I put down a few notes of what I want that I want to say in this episode, and stuff like that. So, I want to start off with the first note that I just put written down. So let's begin. So the very first play of the game was when Ohio State quarterback JT Barrett made the pass attempt to get a first down. And I believe it was at the Ohio State 30-yard line. I could be wrong, but anyway. So he was going to make a pass attempt to get the first down, and then all of a sudden, one of the Iowa's defensive players intercepted the ball and ran, I believe it was 30 yards down to the end zone for a touchdown, making a pick 6. That's right. And not to mention the fact that it was the very first play of the game. Just utterly nuts. I must say, utterly nuts that was. The very first play of the game. A JT Barrett tried to make a first down, got the ball intercepted by Iowa defense, and they ran in for a touchdown, making a pick 6. That's nuts. I don't think I ever seen a game, whether it's in college football or NFL, that at the very first play of the game starts off with a quarterback trying to make a pass to get a first down, and then all of a sudden had the ball intercepted by the defense, and the defense ran into the end zone for a touchdown, making a pick 6. I don't think I ever saw that happen. I might have, but I just don't ever recall on the top of my head. But anyway, so yeah, that was the first thing that I put down of what I want to say for this episode. Another thing is that in the first half, the Ohio State Buckeyes were down 31-17, leaving Iowa ahead of the game unexpectedly. And the reason why I put unexpectedly is because after I saw the highlight video that shows most of the main highlights of the game, it showed like Iowa being up 31-17 at halftime. So that I did not expect. I was I was kind of expecting Ohio State to pretty much compete very well with Iowa, and not really. They did. Yeah, JT Barrett did score. The Buckeyes did score 2 touchdowns and a field goal, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that was about it in the first half. In the first half, though, the Buckeyes have given up 31 points of just 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Wow, that was unprecedented, or I should say, unexpected. So yeah, that was one of the biggest surprises of the game for me. It was the fact that Ohio State was down at halftime 31-17 against Iowa. So yeah, that was about it. Another thing is that the Ohio State Buckeyes gave up 4 turnovers, all of which were interceptions that JT Barrett given up. Yeah, that's right. JT Barrett apparently throughout the whole entire game gave up 4 interceptions to the Iowa defense. That's whew. I don't think you can win a game like that. I really don't. I really don't think you could win a game with that much number of interceptions, or even I should say 4 interceptions. I just don't think you can win that way. It's impossible to win a game just with 4 interceptions. It's amazing to see JT Barrett giving up 4 interceptions against the defense of Iowa. Just unbelievable. That's just one of the few ways to lose a game. Giving up 4 interceptions. That's one of the few ways to lose a game. What else? Oh yeah, that's right. This was the first loss in Urban Meyer. For those of you who have no idea who he is, Urban Meyer is the football head coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Just want to put that out there for those who have not heard of him before. But yeah, this was the first loss in Urban Meyer's Ohio State coaching career that he given up 50-plus points in a single game. A single game. His team the team under Urban Meyer have given up 50-plus points in a single game throughout his 5-year career with the Buckeyes, because he joined the Ohio State Buckeyes as their new head coach in 2012. So yeah, I would guess that is 5 years. So anywho, yeah, again, this was Urban Meyer's first ever loss with 50-plus points in a single game as the coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes football team. If you have a head coach like Urban Meyer, you know that he will have a tough day or tough week to handle or get over the whole thing, like giving up 50-plus points. Just something like that I just want to add. What else? Well, the Iowa Hawkeyes quarterback Nathan Stanley, that's pretty much his name, completed 20 of 31 pass attempts, passed for 226 yards, and made 5 touchdown passes and 0 turnovers. 5 touchdowns and 0 turnovers. Wow. And it's not just him that didn't give up a turnover. It's his whole entire team that didn't give up a turnover. 0 turnovers the Iowa Hawkeyes have given up against Ohio State. You know, That kind of reminds me of a game that happened about a couple years ago. I cannot remember what it is between both teams. I can't remember which two teams in that game that I want to try to remember. But anyway, it reminds me of that game I watched where one team has given up 5 turnovers, whereas the other team didn't. And oh, wait a minute, I do remember. It's the 2015 regular season game between the Ole Miss Rebels and the Alabama Crimson Tide, where, going back to that game, it just really makes me laugh. Um, anyway, it reminds me of that Alabama and Ole Miss game where Ole Miss intercepted the ball 5 times. And Alabama didn't intercept the ball at all. They only given up 5 interceptions. So yeah, I'm just letting y'all know. Just in terms of turnovers, this game reminds me of the Ole Miss versus Alabama game back in 2015. So yeah. Anyway. I just want to point that out for just because I wanted to, because you know how much I hate Alabama with a freaking passion. Anyway, the quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who is the opposite of Nathan Stanley, he goes by the name of J.T. Barrett, as I mentioned his name earlier. He completed 18 of 34 of his pass attempts, passed for 208 yards, made 3 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, like I mentioned earlier, of how many he had given up. One of them being the very start of the whole game, and giving up a pick 6. That's, yep. I know I said it several times earlier, but I just want to say it again because I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, what else? Okay, this is one of the things that I've written down that I really wanted to talk about. One of the reasons why Ohio State lost the game against Iowa is because of the penalties they have given. They have been penalized 9 times with 95 penalized yards. Let me repeat. 9 times Ohio State has been given with 95 penalty yards. Now, I know there are some teams out there that have, been penalized multiple times, but if you have a team that has given up 9 penalties, has 9 penalties of giving up 95 penalty yards, you know that your team is going to have a long day to handle with penalties and yards of penalty. Yeah, that's utterly nuts. And one of those penalties, as a matter of fact, was that one part of the game where this guy, I believe his name was Joey Bosa. I believe he's still at Ohio State. He might have been in the NFL already, but there was one part where he launched his helmet to one of the Iowa Hawkeyes players' helmet, and he was ejected out of the game. And that is a very correct call to make. I will give that to the referee, to the officials. And one of the last few things I put down for this episode, the Ohio State, as far as I'm concerned, the Ohio State Buckeyes' ultimate goal to reach the playoffs and clean up the mess that they made last year, which they lost to the Clemson Tigers 31-0 in the last playoffs, has failed. Their goal to reach the playoffs has failed. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, their season is a failure. Now that they lost 2 games this year, I don't care if they have a winning record this year. I don't care. If the Ohio State's ultimate goal is to reach the playoffs and win the playoffs, as well as winning the national title game, it's a complete utter failure now that they lost to Iowa. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm just saying it like it is. And if I hurt Ohio State Buckeyes fans' feelings over that, too bad for y'all. Yeah. So overall, I would say that the Iowa Hawkeyes performed drastically well, both offensively and defensively, and made the final score of the game 55-24 a prime example of why Ohio State is one of the most overrated teams in the country, and why they should not be mentioned again for being the best team in the Big Ten Conference, because they're not. They're not. Or at least right now they're not. Yes, they are presumed to win the Big Ten. I forgot what division Ohio State is in the Big Ten, but anyway, it's very likely that they will win their division and then go to the Big Ten title game against presumably the Wisconsin Badgers. But yeah. Anyway, that's all for now. So anyway, guys, those are my thoughts on the Ohio State and Iowa game, which ended 55-24. Iowa beating up Ohio State. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please click the like button and comment down below to let me know what you think of the game. And if you enjoy what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight. Peace!